Hi, this is Mo. This video is for my Aries babies, Aries Suns, Aries Moons, and or Aries Risings. Although I do feel like an Aries Sun would probably resonate more with this reading than a Moon or a Rising, but you're welcome to watch this if you're an Aries Moon or your sign for your rising sign is Aries. So, welcome. This is a general tarot reading for the next 2 weeks, but we will be, discussing past, present, and potential future, and hopefully giving you a little bit of insight into how you can encourage yourselves to continue forward with whatever you might be going through for the next 2 weeks. So I have my first deck, which will be the deck that I will be using as a main deck. And my second deck is a clarifying deck if we need more information. We have 6 categories for the Aries signs. Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, and financially. Mentally is in regards to thoughts. Physically is in regards to health. Emotionally is in regards to feelings. Spiritually is in regards to your soul. Intellectually is in regards to your planning, and financially is in regards to your money and career. That's the last one. I just want to say that if you don't know your moon or your rising, you can always type in birth chart generator into one of the websites that you can Google, and you can put in your information there and they'll give you your birth chart, which will show you what your moon sign is and your rising sign. If you are a sun sign Aries, this is for you. If you are a moon sign Leo, there's another video for Leos, let's say. But yeah, you can always go see one of the videos that I've uploaded in regards to your moon sign or your rising sign, and perhaps you can get a little bit more insight into yourself through those other videos. But yeah, they're general. I eventually will be doing personal readings. I'm just working on like if I want to do them in person or online, or if I'll even be able to build up a clientele, which I'm hoping and expecting that I will eventually. But for now, we're doing these new types of videos. Instead of the pick of cards, I'm doing zodiac sign readings, and I'm really enjoying it because I'm actually getting into understanding a little bit more the different signs as opposed to air, because I'm an air sign. So let's get into your reading. We're 2 minutes in. So mentally, if you see me looking down, it's because I'm shuffling the cards. Aries, fire signs. Your motto is I am, which is an amazing motto for creation. I am, it's just that being, that identity of being, and your virtue is courage. Your planet is Mars. It's this planet of assertion. Although you are human, Aries, and maybe you don't always feel like how you can live up to the identity that you've been given as an Aries sun, moon, and rising as well, but especially as an Aries sun. So for mentally, we have the High Priestess. We also have the Hanged Man. And the third card from the main deck for mentally in regards to thoughts. Okay, the Knave of Chalices. Okay, the High Priestess was the first card we pulled for you mentally, and for your thought life. I feel a lot of deep thinking because the mental capacity that you have is quite deep. You are fire signs, however, you're not air signs, but I feel like the willpower that you have to really use your minds is phenomenal. It's interesting because I'm looking at the cards and I'm like, okay, but how come I'm not seeing that, even though I know that that's the truth? And I think that's probably how you feel mentally, is that you almost feel like an imposter, almost like you're going around and around in circles, like trying to convince yourself that you actually are this courageous being that everybody thinks you are. Almost like you're afraid to, just not be responsible and not be the one to be in charge. Really feeling like you're not yourself lately, Aries. almost feeling like you wish that you were some other kind of creature, otherworldly creature, especially with the High Priestess. And with the Knave of Chalices too, it's a very like other kind of creature card. So mentally almost like in another world. And I feel like you don't want to be bothered there. I feel like you're almost like in a hermit mode mentally, really, really in your mind, really delving into the subconscious, going deep into your mind, studying your emotions, and freeing your mind, really freeing your mind, studying who you are mentally. Let's get another card from the clarification deck for Aries. Okay. We have the Five of Swords. That's a good mind card because we have the swords. Mind. Yeah, because the swords are symbolic of the mind. And they also symbolize the element of air, which, as you know, air and fire can really work together to really fan the flame of a fire. Aries, maybe you have a friend who's an air sign who's really encouraging you to be yourself and to let go and be free. That could be the situation. Or maybe with the Five of Swords, maybe it's not so much somebody who's a friend who's an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Maybe it's the fact that you are really learning how to balance your mind, and you almost feel like because you're using your mind so much and not seeing as much of the fire aspect of your will, you're so unused to seeing so much mental capacity in yourself because you're usually such a free thinker and a free flower, despite the fact that you are always in charge and on top. And very courageous, for sure. With the Five of Swords, there's a lot of courage here, fighting courage. And so you're not afraid to go into your mind. Even though you do feel fear sometimes, you're actually, with the fire too and the Five of Swords, that's the joining of the fire and the element of air with the swords, fanning the flame of your willpower through using your mind, learning how to actually use your mind in more transcendent ways. With the Hanged Man, wading through difficulties and getting into that transcendent space. With the High Priestess, really delving into your subconscious mind, really learning with the Knave of Chalices about your emotions, and mixing that with the element of mind, with the air and the fire, and really growing to amazing capacities. And that's what probably you're afraid of, is the fact that you are growing mentally, and maybe you just never saw this coming for you, and it's scary to go into new areas, for sure. I know that it can be scary. I feel the fear myself connecting to your energy. I feel the fear of growth. Let's get another card for mentally. It's interesting because I'm learning to trust myself as well. It's hard. I feel like it's going to be a lifelong journey, you know, learning to trust yourself, especially as you grow and you develop into a new type of person. We have the Chariot for mentally, though, which is actually beautiful because you see this chariot is like in the stars, really mentally, clarity, beauty, above, seeing things above what they seem mentally. The Chariot, learning also which direction to go in, learning to balance your mind, learning to balance your emotions, almost like learning to walk on water also, like rising above the emotions that you feel that could drag you down and soaring above, getting in touch with your feminine side, using your emotions, but also getting in touch with the masculine and using a more stern logic. Women have a lot of logic too, but it's more of a independent logic, and I do feel very much a lot of independence with the Chariot card for you, moving forward quite quickly in your mind. So that was mentally. Okay, so let's go into physically for the sign Aries in regards to health. Okay, physically in regards to health for Aries. 9 of Swords, 5 of Wands, 2 of Swords. Okay, I see a lot of physically stuck and physically confused. Excuse me. So physically stuck. So we have the 9 of Swords. We have the 5 of Wands. And we have the 2 of Swords. Almost like not wanting to move. Physically not wanting to move because you feel comfortable knowing that you won't. You feel comfortable knowing that you won't be hurt if you don't move from where you are physically. But you know, that's not a life. That's just going to lead to continued confusion. Of course, we know that the mind is also a physical aspect of ourselves, because obviously mental health is very important. Physically not wanting to move, confusion and sadness. So I do see that there's a sadness with the 9 of Swords, and the swords being the mind. Sadness in the mind with the 9 of Swords, very clear. And the 5 of Wands, confusion, not knowing where to go spiritually, in your will, in your purpose. It's interesting how like our mind can really take a toll on us physically. With the 2 of Swords, it's almost like the idea of like, right, not wanting to move, right? Because feeling like, what will happen if I move from here? I've learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I don't want to make things worse. I'm going to take the clarification deck out for physically for Aries. Physically for Aries. Justice. Taking out a few cards. The Emperor. 5 of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune. Hanged Man. Page of Pentacles. We're going to get a story here for physically, okay? Magician. Taking a lot of cards out. And the 6 of Cups. And the Devil. Okay, physically. Yeah, because there's not really very much room for you to move with the 5 of Wands, the 9 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords. There's not really very much movement for you if you feel like you're stuck physically, because you don't want to be in any more pain. mentally, with the Two of Swords being the mind and the Nine of Swords being the mind, and the Five of Wands being the will, feeling stuck in your willpower because you feel so painful in your mind. And I'm looking at the other cards that I've drawn here to see the story. I really feel like the outcome is the Devil card for you, but just want you to know that if you accept your feminine energy, I know with the Emperor card, it's the card for Aries. The sign of Aries is the Emperor. A lot of strength in the Emperor card. Although the outcome for you, this is the outcome, and this is also the solution. The outcome for you and the solution for you is the Devil card. Knowing that you aren't stuck to your choices. You can break the choices that you've made. The Magician card, you create your own life. The Six of Cups, you have beautiful memories and you continue to create beautiful memories. The Five of Pentacles, the hard times that you've been through. The Justice card, the injustice that you feel like you've had and the fact that you're waiting for something to happen to make you feel like life is fair. The Hanged Man, learning how to go through difficulty to see a better day. The Page of Pentacles, really getting in touch with your physical body is really important here. The Wheel of Fortune, and that's how you will get out of this position of feeling a lot of pain and stuck in your willpower, mentally feeling pain, not wanting to move. The Wheel of Fortune is that you can turn the wheel in your fortune and you can break those things that are making you feel stuck physically. I really do love the fact that you have the Emperor card physically, which symbolizes you, which I want to remind you, Aries, you are a courageous group of people. You are the leaders with the Emperor card. Look at this Emperor. He's the leader, okay? He's got that courageous energy. Yes, he is very courageous. And Justice is a very feminine energy here, but there's a balance of masculine and feminine for sure. I do see that with the Five of Wands and the Nine of Swords and the Two of Swords. Of course, you are still feeling confused and stuck and you don't see how you could get out of it. But I just want to encourage you that with all the cards I see here, the answer is letting yourself know that you're not stuck with the Devil card. I don't know if you can see this, but this woman has a flower wreath attaching her to this statue. She isn't stuck. I really feel like the answer is mentally, yes, but also physically moving out of the space that you're in. So if you don't feel comfortable being somewhere, leave. You are the leader. You are the leader. You have Mars as your ruling planet. Take control of the situation. I know you're going through situations where you're feeling different than you usually feel, but remember, you are the Emperor card. That's you for Aries. And so your feelings are valid, and you can turn the wheel in your favor. You have the energy. You're the fire energy. And remember, we were talking about mentally how you're fanning the flame of your fire through the energy of your mind. I really feel called to point out this Justice card. Physically, I don't know why this health and like justice, maybe, I don't understand why. Let me pull out another card. I don't understand the Justice card, and I'm not willing to let go of that, even though I kind of want to be honest. It's funny how we feel sometimes. Justice, the Queen of Swords. Physically, working on your mind, okay? I think the key to feeling stronger, Aries, is strengthening your mind. Yeah. Okay. Okay. For the next category, emotionally for Aries, physically with the health, we've passed that. Strengthening your mind. Emotionally with your feelings, Aries. How can we deal with your feelings and your emotions in the next 2 weeks? King of Swords, Judgment, Hierophant. King of Swords. Emotionally. Judgment. Feelings. Hierophant. Okay, so the Hierophant is very much a structured card, but I do see a lot of magician energy in this Hierophant because I think it depends how you look at the Hierophant. Some people look at the Hierophant as if he's a spiritual entity who has all the power. However, I want you to know that emotionally, the Hierophant is also a choice. It is a choice to succumb to the powers around you. You judge yourself. You judge yourself. You know, you are your worst critic. Emotionally, I feel like you've been really hard on yourself, and that's not a judgment on you. It's just a fact. With the King of Swords, really hard on your mind, really strict and stern on your mind. Remember, the structures are not always right. When you think about government and leadership, there's a lot of corruption. So it's about not worshiping what you see with your eyes and judging yourself emotionally based on what you're seeing with the Hierophant with your eyes. It's about, you know, being gentle with yourself, with your mind. Remember that you're learning. Spiritually for Aries. Spiritually. Okay, the Sun card, the Wheel. It's 2 major arcana for your spiritual, and Justice, the 3rd major arcana for your spirit. A lot of big energy for your spirit. A lot of vitality, a lot of strength, courage, balance, luck. Spiritually, really great. Really, really great. Intellectually for planning. Okay, we have the 3 of Wands, which I've come to understand as working through a barren situation intellectually. The Knight of Swords and the Star, intellectually for planning. Seeing the big picture, planning and seeing the big picture, the overall outcome that you want to be living, making your plans, seeing exactly how you want things to end up for you. Starting out, okay? Starting out, of course, every plan starts out with a thought. And the 3 of Wands, it's not always easy to build your life with the 3 of Wands, working to get your way up to where you want to go. Intellectually with planning, the Knave of Swords, intellectually with planning, the Star card, which could be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Or why am I saying that? I have no clue, but anyways, maybe you're thinking about an Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini, maybe an air sign. It's funny how sometimes I just say things and I know that they're right, even though I'm not really sure why I'm saying them. 3 of Wands, willpower, 3 being a number of balance in movement intellectually, moving forward intellectually, and that's how you're going to feel balance in your planning. Financially for money and career for Aries. Financially, for money and career for Aries. Okay. Financially, for money and career for Aries. Financially, you've been getting a lot of help. You've been carried financially. You've been carried somehow, but that's not happening anymore. I have to take out a card or 3 or 6 or 5. I don't know. Let me take out some more cards. So financially, we have the 5 of Wands. Bear with me here. Financially, we have the 6 of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, financially hard times. With the 5 of Pentacles, financially hard times. Remember the Wheel of Fortune, how you can turn things in your favor. With the 5 of Wands, struggling with your willpower. With the 6 of Cups, enjoying life despite the situation. With the Death card, letting go of old ways of spending money and spending habits. With the 8 of Swords, really living life in your mind and not so much in the physical realm of wanting to spend your money or live the high life, and not depending on other people with the 6 of Swords. So career, money, and finances. I don't see anything about career here for the next 2 weeks really, but money and finances, yeah, for sure. Making sure that you're turning the wheel in your favor. We all go through hard times financially, and we all have to rely on other people sometimes for finances, but really with the Death card, with that, I see that you have to work on letting those feelings of guilt over accepting help from people die, because you are a good friend with the 6 of Cups, and a lot of your friends have good memories with you. And I really do feel like the 6 of Cups for you is what it actually is, what can give you hope without feeling bad about the finance situation, is knowing that money is not the most important thing in life. So I hope that was helpful, Aries. If you didn't resonate with all of it, remember this is very generalized, but I hope I can see you in my next reading, and I will wish you well. Bye.